Military postcards from the 1900s, early 1900s up into the 20s. There's some really cool stuff in here. Let's get into it. If you saw the last couple of videos, you'll know that not long ago I bought a lot of 43 postcards for $40. They were all real picture postcards from the late 19-teens into the early 20s. This is the remainder of those. If you haven't seen the last two videos, please check those out. But this is it says at Phila Pen. I don't know exactly, loading the Vaughn. I don't know what that means, but this is early military stuff, and you can see some ships here with guns sticking out. And this is like a very large, and it appears that the photo was taken either from a dock or on a ship. But there are several ships here getting loaded. Really cool. Most of these are unused. They're not in the greatest condition because of probably not being stored real well. You can see some are darker, others have been faded quite a bit. They almost look like sepia at this point. But this is the port side of ship. And it is a battleship. It appears to me, I believe, this looks very similar to the USS Pennsylvania, which I highlighted in a couple of videos ago because of this structure here. It was a little bit unique. It seems in comparing it to the other ships we have, but you can see these other smaller boats here, and you got several people down there also, kind of, who knows what they're doing, working. Really cool scene of these old ships from that era. I have to look up what ARA means because I have a handful of these that have this same, I don't know if that's just an indication of a series, of a particular printer or what, but this is taking them over the bridge. And I don't know, it looks like these are guns, so I'll have to look closely with my loupe. It almost seems as though these guns have just been shot and this is smoke, although it could be that this is water splashing up onto the deck. I don't know exactly what that is. C211 must be a number, like a reference number, but I'm not exactly sure. I'll set this out here so we can keep these together. Here's another bound for the USA. And again, you've got water crashing over the top. Must be really choppy water, really rough. Again, we got a reference number. If you compare that to this, it may be that that is what it was water from large waves breaking. Here's another, ice on the life rafts of the AUS warship. It doesn't say which one, but that's crazy. Just must have been freezing wherever they are. And a little Easter egg up here, you've got a man, and he's right there by the gun. Look at the gun frozen over. Must have had so much water constantly hitting and then freezing in the cold air. I don't know where these were taken, what time of year, but U.S. Navy seaplane. So we've got a really cool seaplane here, and this says Los Angeles #1 pier, #1. So this is really cool. We can place this to a pier in Los Angeles, and I don't know anything about this plane, but it is a Navy seaplane. Really cool photo there. A pretty good condition card. Again, they're bent a little bit, which is not ideal, but that's just kind of how they come to you sometimes. Another warship here. I believe, look, several guns are sticking out here. You've got some men hoisting things up. I don't know if they're setting up the tent or bringing it down, but you've got men and women possibly along the sides as well. And they are in some sort of dock, some sort of port. Several of the other postcards were taken that I showed in the last video in Panama, near the Panama Canal. It's possible that this was taken in that area also. And then here we've got a bunch of young men, and I mean young looking. Several men who just look like teenagers, honestly. Some with shirts off, some with cigarettes, some with hats. Looks like maybe these are the ones cooking food. They got a bunch of canisters for food or liquid. A little posed shot there up on a warship, and some people in the background. Really cool shot. Another one, frozen guns on a U.S. warship returning from France. Okay, so maybe that's where the other one was. It was in France. And it has just frozen over almost solidly. Here's another warship kind of scene. Again, probably in the Panama area. Not sure which one it is. It doesn't say. And then the last couple, which I think are the most fun ones, interesting ones, creative ones, is this. You've got the muzzle of a 14-inch gun. So I guess maybe the end there is 14 inches in diameter, and you've got, it's big enough that a guy could lay down inside of there. Now, is he really in there, or is this one of those trick photograph things? Around this era, they found ways to kind of make what they would call exaggerated postcards, or things where, like, for example, a farmer is harvesting corn, and he's standing on what appears to be an ear of corn that's larger than 3 or 4 people put together. And that's not real. They found a way to kind of do some trick photography in the darkroom, but it's very possible that this man was laying in there. I would not be surprised at all if they have guns that are large enough for men to lay down inside. But creative. This was taken on a warship. You can see one of these large turrets, or whatever you call those, up here in the middle. Again, we don't know who that is or where it was taken, but in my opinion, of all of the photographs, real picture postcards that I got in this lot, this is the winner. It says U.S. Navy Diver, USN, U.S. Navy Diver. And this man is getting ready to go. He's either coming up or going deck down. I think he's probably coming up, because as you can see, it looks like there's water spraying out or dripping out from his suit. But look at his face. He's got the big metal helmet thing on him there, this huge suit. I mean, this is really early days of diving exploration, I would assume, from the U.S. military, and a couple of other men here helping him. Just really fascinating picture, really awesome documenting history. I love it. This, to me, is a $100 or more postcard. I've never seen one like it. You probably won't see another one like it. It's probably the only of its kind. Definitely an intimate kind of look at really serious military work back in the teens and early 20s. But I hope you guys enjoyed these. I certainly do. I think that they're fascinating. I buy and sell all kinds of things for a living. However, I'm really, really fascinated by the history and these old, and photography in general, but especially stuff from postcards. If you have any information on these that you could help me out in identifying places or people, I would certainly appreciate it. Thanks for your time. We'll see you next time.